Imagine this. Your morning begins the same way it always has. You shuffle into the kitchen, still half asleep, the smell of coffee filling the air. But this time you add one small thing, a natural compound that looks harmless, tastes neutral, and yet inside your body it starts something remarkable. Within minutes, it begins to activate dormant systems, awaken sluggish cells, and stimulate blood flow in a way your body hasn't experienced in years. Urologists are calling it one of the most surprising natural discoveries for men's vitality in decades. It's not a drug, it's not caffeine, it's something entirely different, something nature designed long before we ever tried to invent artificial solutions for male energy and strength. For years, men have been taught that when performance starts to fade, there's only one path forward: pills, injections, or simply giving up. But the truth is, your body already has the blueprint for endurance, strength, and blood flow. It just needs the right key to unlock it again. And this coffee booster is that key. When it hits your system, it begins to work in harmony with the natural rhythm of your blood vessels. Think of your arteries and capillaries as small, flexible tunnels that carry oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your body. With age, those tunnels tighten, harden, and lose their responsiveness, but this compound gently relaxes and reopens them, allowing blood to flow freely again, particularly to the regions most affected by reduced circulation. The fascinating part is how fast the body responds. Many men report feeling subtle energy changes within days, a sense of warmth or vitality returning to areas that had been quiet for too long. It's not a jolt like caffeine or an artificial rush. It's a calm, steady awakening. It's your body remembering how it used to function when you were younger, stronger, and more confident. Scientists have found that this natural ingredient works at the cellular level, enhancing nitric oxide production, which acts like a messenger between your blood vessels and your nervous system. When nitric oxide levels increase, your vessels open wider, oxygen moves more efficiently, and your stamina naturally rises. You might wonder, why coffee? Why not just take this ingredient by itself? The answer lies in absorption. Coffee acts like a natural carrier, helping your body absorb nutrients faster through the bloodstream. The caffeine, though mild, acts as a transport system, pushing these powerful compounds to where they're needed most. So while you're enjoying your usual morning cup, this simple addition quietly starts repairing and rejuvenating your internal systems. It's almost poetic. The same drink that wakes your mind now has the power to awaken your body too. What truly surprises doctors and researchers that the effects don't just stop at physical performance. Men who've added this to their coffee every morning talk about renewed confidence, sharper focus, and better sleep. Some describe it as feeling 10 years younger or getting their spark back. It's not just about physical energy. It's about emotional renewal, that inner drive that comes from feeling alive again. And the best part, there's no crash, no side effects, and no dependency. Because it's natural, the body accepts it easily, using only what it needs and discarding the rest. This isn't magic, it's biology rediscovered. For centuries, traditional cultures used plant-based extracts to strengthen blood flow, energy, and vitality. Modern science is now rediscovering what ancient healers already knew. Nature provides the answers if we're willing to look. The compound in question comes from a specific plant source that's been used for centuries in Eastern and Mediterranean medicine. When modern urologists studied it, they were shocked at how effectively it revived function even in older men who had struggled for years. Every sip of coffee infused with this booster is like sending a quiet signal to your body saying, "Wake up, remember who you are." It restores not just physical performance, but also pride and confidence. Because at its core, masculinity isn't about youth, it's about vitality, energy, and presence. And when a man feels his strength return, his whole world changes. He stands taller, breathes deeper, and moves with the certainty that he hasn't lost his power, he's simply reclaimed it. So when you stir that spoon into your morning cup, you're not just making coffee. You're giving your body something far more meaningful, the ability to heal, to strengthen, and to perform the way it was meant to. It's simple, it's natural, and it's quietly transforming the lives of men who thought their best years were behind them. One small scoop, one cup of coffee, one incredible comeback that begins from the inside out. When this special ingredient blends into your morning coffee, something extraordinary happens inside your body, something invisible yet incredibly powerful. It begins with a single molecule called nitric oxide, often described by scientists as the miracle molecule of circulation. Nitric oxide is responsible for relaxing and widening your blood vessels, allowing life-giving oxygen and nutrients to flow smoothly throughout your body. When you were younger, your body produced it easily and abundantly. But as the years pass, that natural production slows down, and the effects show up in ways that many men recognize: lower energy, slower recovery, weaker stamina, and a fading of that strong masculine drive that once felt effortless. Yet the body still holds the potential to make nitric oxide again. It just needs the right signal to wake it up. That's exactly what this compound in coffee does. It reawakens your nitric oxide engine as soon as it enters your bloodstream. It activates the inner lining of your blood vessels called the endothelium. That's where nitric oxide is produced. The compound acts like a gentle switch, flipping on your body's ability to make this molecule naturally. Once that process starts, your entire circulatory system begins to change. Your arteries loosen, blood moves freely, and oxygen delivery improves in every organ. It's as if the body suddenly remembers how to be young again. This doesn't happen through chemicals or synthetic drugs that force the body to respond. It happens through natural restoration, letting the body do what it was designed to do in the first place. Imagine your blood vessels like roads that have been blocked by years of wear and tear. With poor circulation, energy can't reach where it's needed most. But once nitric oxide production increases, those blockages start to clear, the pathways open up, blood rushes in, and vitality floods back into areas that had grown cold and unresponsive. The result is not just improved circulation, but a total revival of your body's natural rhythm. Better heart performance, better oxygen flow, and better responsiveness in those vital regions that define a man's strength and confidence. What makes this so remarkable is that it doesn't just target one symptom. It's not about a quick fix. This natural nitric oxide trigger enhances the foundation of your health, your blood flow, and when blood flow improves, everything improves: your energy, your endurance, your focus, even your mood. Men who've tried it describe feeling not just physically better, but mentally clearer, emotionally lighter, as if a fog has been lifted. It's because when the body's circulation improves, the brain receives more oxygen too, the heart beats stronger, the muscles recover faster, and the mind feels sharper. It's a ripple effect that touches every part of your being. Most importantly, this compound doesn't force the body to work harder. It helps it work smarter. It doesn't flood your system with artificial stimulants or chemicals. Instead, it nourishes your body's natural system so they can restore balance on their own. Scientists believe this is one of the safest and most effective ways to enhance male vitality, especially for older adults. Urologists studying this natural approach were astonished to see how quickly nitric oxide levels improved when combined with coffee. The natural synergy between the compounds in coffee and the nitric oxide boosting ingredient creates an environment in which blood vessels respond almost instantly. Even better, this process isn't limited to a certain age. Men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s have reported experiencing renewed stamina and vitality after just a few weeks of using this method. They speak of feeling more awake in the morning, more alert at work, and more confident in their personal lives. It's not just about restoring a physical function. It's about reviving self-assurance, the sense of control that comes when you know your body is working with you, not against you. This coffee blend has become a quiet revolution among men who no longer want to rely on pills that come with side effects or disappointment. They're choosing a simple, natural ritual that strengthens the very foundation of their performance, the flow of life itself. Because when nitric oxide flows freely, energy flows freely, desire flows freely, and confidence follows naturally. It's a transformation that begins from within, silent yet powerful, and it reminds every man that his body was never meant to fade. It was meant to thrive. Every time you take a sip, that process begins again. Your cells receive the signal, your vessels expand, and your heart pumps stronger, sending new energy to every part of you. The difference might not be loud or sudden, but it's steady, it's natural, and it's real. It's your body's quiet way of saying, I remember how to be strong, and it all starts with that one small addition to your morning coffee. The spark that reignites your nitric oxide power and brings back the energy that age tried to steal away. Age is often treated like a barrier, a slow but certain wall that separates youth from decline. But the truth is your body never truly forgets how to perform, how to heal, or how to feel alive. The systems that once fueled your energy and confidence don't vanish. They simply go dormant. And that's where this discovery becomes truly life-changing. Because when men of all ages, even those well into their 70s or 80s, began using this simple coffee ritual, something remarkable happened. Their energy returned, their confidence returned, and yes, even their physical performance came back stronger than anyone expected. The old belief that age automatically equals weakness started to crumble, replaced by a new understanding that with the right natural support, a man's strength can endure for life. In clinical studies, men who had experienced years of frustration due to fatigue, low drive, or lack of stamina began noticing visible improvements. Not only were they feeling better physically, but they also experienced a renewal of spirit. Their bodies were responding as if they had rolled back the clock. Urologists studying the effects couldn't ignore the data. The natural compound mixed in coffee wasn't just supporting circulation, it was reactivating the body's entire system of male vitality, the balance between blood flow, hormone production, and mental clarity. This kind of transformation didn't depend on youth. It depended on awakening what was already within. Think of it this way: your body is like a high-performance engine that's been sitting idle for too long. The machinery is still powerful, but it needs fuel, oxygen, and a spark to roar back to life. This ingredient acts like that spark. It works deep in the bloodstream to open up pathways that have narrowed with age. Once blood starts moving freely again, oxygen rushes to muscles, nerves, and tissues that have been starved for years. The result isn't just a physical change, it's a total reset. Men describe feeling more alive in the morning, moving with energy they hadn't felt in decades, and most importantly, regaining confidence in moments that matter most. The most inspiring part is how universal these results are. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 80. The male body is capable of repair, regeneration, and revival at any age when given the right natural support. Science has confirmed that certain compounds, especially those that boost nitric oxide and support hormonal balance, can reignite function even after years of decline. What this means is that it doesn't have to mean fading. You can still feel strong, capable, and confident no matter what the calendar says. Men who tried this daily coffee ritual have shared stories that sound almost unbelievable. One retired engineer in his 70s said he felt like someone flipped a switch in his body. His strength returned, his clarity improved, and he no longer felt that heavy fatigue he once thought was permanent. Another man in his early 80s reported that for the first time in years, he felt that spark of vitality that reminded him of his younger days. These aren't isolated miracles. They're proof that the male body, when nourished properly, can remain vibrant well beyond what we've been told to expect. And it's not about trying to become 20 again. It's about reclaiming the best version of yourself at any age. The version that moves with confidence, that wakes up with purpose, that looks in the mirror and sees strength instead of decline. The simple act of adding this natural booster to your morning coffee gives your body what it needs to function the way it's supposed to. It's not forcing change. It's reminding your system how to operate as it once did. There's a quiet power that comes from realizing your body still works for you, not against you. That power changes everything: how you walk, how you think, how you live. It's the difference between existing and thriving, and that's what this discovery is all about, proving that vitality doesn't expire with age. The energy, the confidence, the drive, they were never lost. They were simply waiting to be reawakened. Every sip of this enhanced coffee is like a small act of rebellion against time, a declaration that you're not finished, that your strength and passion still belong to you. The science supports it, the results prove it, and thousands of men are experiencing it firsthand. Age is not a wall, it's just a number. And with the right natural catalyst, that number can't stop you from feeling the way you were meant to feel: powerful, confident, and fully alive, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. When you hear the word natural, it's easy to assume it means something mild or weak, something that can't possibly deliver real, powerful results. But in reality, nature has always been the ultimate healer. The human body itself is designed to respond best to what comes from the earth. Pure plant-based compounds that nourish, restore, and balance without causing harm. That's exactly what makes this coffee booster so unique. It's 100% natural, yet its effects are profound. It doesn't rely on synthetic chemicals or artificial stimulants. Instead, it works with your body's own biology, using nutrients that your cells recognize, understand, and put to work immediately. That's why men of all ages are experiencing such remarkable transformations without side effects, risks, or dependency. For decades, the market has been flooded with quick fixes, pills that promise instant results but leave men with headaches, dizziness, or worse. The truth is, those chemical solutions force your body to react rather than allowing it to heal. They push your system beyond its natural limits, creating temporary effects but long-term imbalance. This natural formula takes the opposite approach. It doesn't force the body, it supports it. It nourishes the blood vessels, strengthens circulation, and balances hormones in a gradual, sustainable way. When mixed with coffee, it becomes part of your daily rhythm, a quiet, consistent source of vitality that builds up naturally over time. Each element in this compound was carefully selected from nature's most potent sources: roots, herbs, and plant extracts that have been used for centuries in traditional medicine to support stamina, energy, and male health. Modern science has simply refined the process, concentrating these natural ingredients so they work faster and more efficiently. The beauty of it is in its simplicity. You don't need prescriptions. You don't need complicated regimens, just your daily cup of coffee and a few seconds to stir in the natural blend that could change everything. What makes it so powerful is how deeply it nourishes the cardiovascular system. Instead of artificially dilating blood vessels like many synthetic drugs do, it gently encourages your body to produce more nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps blood flowing freely and oxygen moving efficiently. This means your body starts to regulate itself again as it once did in youth. The results build gradually but steadily, and because the process is natural, the effects last longer. It's not a surge followed by a crash. It's a revival that becomes part of your daily vitality. Urologists studying the results were amazed not only by the improvements in blood flow, but also by the absence of negative reactions. Men who had tried various chemical options in the past found that this natural approach gave them what they had been searching for: reliable strength and endurance without side effects. There were no reports of rapid heartbeats, no headaches, and no loss of balance, just clean, stable energy and restored confidence. And because it's derived entirely from plants and minerals, it's safe for long-term use. Your body recognizes it as nourishment, not as a foreign chemical to fight against. Another key advantage is how this natural blend supports overall health beyond performance. Many of its components are rich in antioxidants, which protect your blood vessels from oxidative stress, one of the main causes of aging and fatigue. Others help regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that can quietly drain your energy and weaken your immune system. When those levels balance out, your body enters a state of calm strength. You feel lighter, more relaxed, and more in control. The energy that comes from this process isn't jittery or artificial. It's the kind of clean energy that feels sustainable, like it belongs to you. Men who've incorporated this natural booster into their morning coffee talk about it as more than just a supplement. They describe it as a ritual that reconnects them to their own strength. One man said that every morning, as he stirred it into his coffee, he felt like he was investing in his body's future instead of patching up its past. Over weeks and months, his energy returned, his focus sharpened, and his confidence grew. He no longer worried about side effects or dependency because he knew everything going into his body was safe, natural, and beneficial. This is what true health looks like, not a quick rush that fades, but a foundation that strengthens over time. It's the difference between forcing the body and feeding it, between masking symptoms and addressing the root cause. And the root cause for most men is poor circulation, low nitric oxide, and cellular fatigue, all of which can be repaired through natural nourishment. That's why this coffee booster has become more than a trend. It's a movement back to nature, back to balance, and back to the kind of quiet, powerful energy that lasts. Inside every man's body, there is a complex network of hormones silently guiding his strength, his energy, and even his emotions. Testosterone is at the center of that system, the hormone that defines vitality, confidence, and drive. When testosterone levels are balanced, everything works in harmony. Muscles stay firm, focus stays sharp, and motivation feels natural. But when age, stress, or poor nutrition disturb that balance, the effects are unmistakable. Energy drops, motivation fades, and even mood can shift. It's not just physical decline, it's a slow dimming of the spark that drives a man's life forward. The natural compound blended into this coffee formula was designed to address exactly that problem, not by replacing hormones artificially, but by helping the body restore its own natural production and balance. What makes this approach so different is that it supports the endocrine system rather than overwhelming it. Many synthetic supplements or hormonal treatments force the body to adjust from the outside in, creating short bursts of energy followed by crashes and dependency. But this natural booster works from the inside out, awakening the glands and cellular pathways that already exist within you. It gently reminds your system how to function as it once did, producing testosterone steadily, keeping cortisol under control, and maintaining the balance that fuels focus, confidence, and endurance. It's a restoration process, not a replacement one. When this compound mixes with coffee, it forms a synergy that speeds up absorption and supports the body's daily rhythm. The mild caffeine helps carry these nutrients into the bloodstream, where they begin to act on the adrenal glands and testicular function, the two main centers of male hormone production. Over time, this encourages the natural release of testosterone while reducing the stress hormone cortisol, which often suppresses energy and desire. Men who've adopted this ritual describe not just physical improvement, but also a powerful sense of emotional renewal. They feel calmer, more grounded, yet more driven than they have in years. It's fascinating how deeply this hormonal balance affects daily life. When testosterone levels rise naturally, it doesn't just influence strength, it affects how you think, how you sleep, and how you feel about yourself. Your concentration sharpens. Your mood becomes stable. You wake up with energy that feels earned, not borrowed. Even small things like posture and confidence begin to shift because the body and mind are communicating properly again. This balance doesn't create aggression or restlessness like some artificial boosters do. Instead, it builds controlled power, quiet, steady, and self-assured. Urologists and nutrition experts studying this natural compound found that its effects reach beyond hormones. It also supports the liver and kidneys, two organs essential for detoxifying the body and maintaining hormonal stability. When those organs are functioning well, your body becomes more efficient at using nutrients, breaking down fats, and producing clean energy. The compound is also rich in micronutrients, zinc, magnesium, and plant sterols, all of which are scientifically linked to testosterone production and reproductive health. This makes the formula a total body approach, working not just on one hormone, but on the entire ecosystem that keeps a man feeling young and capable. Many men have noticed that after a few weeks of this daily ritual, something subtle but profound changes in their lives. They find themselves more productive at work, more focused in conversation, more at ease in social situations. Their sleep improves, their muscles respond better to activity, and their confidence starts to show again, not from ego, but from balance. They're not chasing energy through sugar or stimulants. They're creating it naturally. It's like turning on a light that had been dimmed for too long. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. There are no injections, no synthetic hormones, no complicated programs, just a daily habit that fits seamlessly into a man's morning routine. The coffee you already drink becomes a vehicle for transformation, and because it's natural, the results don't fade when you stop. The body learns to regulate itself again, sustaining that balance with consistency. Over time, this means less fatigue, clearer focus, and a deeper sense of vitality that feels entirely your own. Testosterone isn't just about physical strength, it's about mental resilience and emotional balance. When it's restored naturally, life begins to flow more easily. The body responds with strength, the mind responds with clarity, and the spirit responds with quiet confidence. That's what this coffee booster delivers, not an artificial high, but a return to harmony, a reawakening of the natural power that every man is born with. It's the difference between feeling alive and truly living, the rediscovery of balance that keeps you strong, focused, and unstoppable at any age. Every powerful transformation begins with a simple habit, something small enough to fit easily into your daily life, yet strong enough to create lasting change. That's exactly what makes this one morning ritual so extraordinary. It doesn't demand huge effort, expensive treatments, or complicated routines. It's as easy as making your usual cup of coffee, something you already do every morning without thinking. But this time, with one simple addition, that cup becomes more than a source of warmth or alertness. It becomes a tool of renewal, a quiet revolution inside your body that restores energy, balance, and vitality from the moment you take your first sip. The power of this ritual lies in its consistency. Because it's part of your morning routine, your body begins to anticipate it, to sync with it. Each day, as the natural compound dissolves into your coffee, it sends a gentle reminder to your body's systems to keep blood flowing, to keep hormones balanced, to keep cells energized. It's a signal of vitality, repeated daily, that helps your body stay in a state of readiness and strength, and unlike harsh treatments or chemical stimulants, it doesn't shock your system. Instead, it builds energy gradually, layer by layer, in a way that feels natural and lasting. The process is simple. You brew your coffee, stir in the natural blend, and drink. But beneath that simplicity, something powerful happens. The compounds start traveling through your bloodstream, delivering nutrients to your cells, stimulating nitric oxide production and supporting hormonal balance. Within minutes, oxygen delivery improves and you feel it, not as a jittery rush, but as a steady, calm clarity. Your body feels more awake, more capable, more in tune with itself. Over days and weeks, this effect compounds and that quiet consistency becomes a force of transformation. What's truly remarkable is how this habit impacts your mindset. Because it's effortless and integrated into something you already do, it removes resistance. You don't have to remember to take pills or follow strict diets. You simply enjoy your morning coffee. That ease creates a rhythm, and rhythm builds discipline. Soon, you're not just feeling stronger physically, you're thinking clearer, moving more confidently, and starting each day with purpose. It becomes a ritual of self-respect, a daily promise that you're investing in your strength and longevity. Men who've adopted this habit talk about it as more than a health routine. They describe it as a turning point. Many say that within weeks, their mornings started to feel different. They woke up feeling rested instead of sluggish, driven instead of drained. That first sip of coffee became a signal that their best years weren't over, they were just beginning again. The natural ingredients quietly worked in the background, improving blood circulation, balancing hormones, and fueling cells with energy, all while fitting seamlessly into their lives. There were no drastic changes to make, no tough adjustments, just one cup, one moment, one decision to take care of themselves in the simplest possible way. The simplicity of this approach is what makes it sustainable. Because it's easy to maintain, men stick with it, and that consistency is what amplifies the results. The body loves routine. It thrives on patterns. By giving it the same boost every morning, you create a steady state of renewal. Blood flow improves more each week, energy stabilizes, and stamina strengthens. Over time, this ritual becomes second nature, an act of maintenance that protects your vitality long term. And since it's natural, your body adapts effortlessly. There's no dependency, no crash, no withdrawal, just ongoing balance and renewal. The longer you keep the habit, the deeper the results go. What begins as a small change in your morning soon influences your entire day, your focus at work, your mood at home, your energy in the evening. You start noticing how much more you can do, how much easier it feels to stay active, and how your confidence grows naturally. This ritual doesn't just make you feel younger, it makes you feel more like yourself again, the version of you that moves with energy and thinks with clarity. The beauty of it all is that it's built on something familiar, your morning coffee. You don't have to change your lifestyle or your schedule. You simply elevate something you already enjoy into something powerful, something life-restoring. With every cup, you're fueling your body with what it needs to function at its best. It's small, simple, and effortless, yet the effects ripple through your entire day, your entire system, your entire sense of self. Because sometimes, the greatest transformations don't come from drastic changes, they come from simple, consistent rituals that remind your body every single morning how strong it truly is.